This is Filmmaking for Noobs, and today we're talking about the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is an important aspect to photography and filmmaking. You may have heard about it already in its simplest form, but it is actually much more complex than what many people think. So today we're going to dig deep into what the rule of thirds really is. What we'll be covering applies equally to still photography as well as filmmaking. However, if you are watching this for the sake of filmmaking, I would highly recommend going back and watching the last episode, which talks about the 180 rule and the 15-degree rule, as these will lay a foundation to what we're talking about right now. So you have 3 seconds to go back. Okay, now you're committed. The rule of thirds simply states that your frame is split into 3 sections or thirds horizontally as well as vertically. In true practice, the rule of thirds corresponds with the golden ratio, and your left and right thirds are 1.618 times the width of your center third, and your top and bottom thirds are 1.618 times the height as your middle third. But in its simplest form, when you are first learning the rule of thirds, or for the sake of simplicity, it is acceptable to simply split your frame into 3 equal sections, both vertically and horizontally. Using the rule of thirds, you now have 4 invisible lines drawn on your frame, as well as 4 intersections where these lines come together. The rule of thirds states that you should place points of interest, such as your actor's eyes or their face, on one of these 4 intersections or on one of these lines. Following this rule makes your shot much more interesting and appealing to your audience, and it also gives you a really good guideline for how much headroom or empty space above your actor's head that you can allow. Taking the rule of thirds a step farther and combining it with the 180 rule, when you have 2 actors in a scene and you're getting close-ups of those actors, you'll want to place each actor closer to the left or right third of your frame, and you'll want the empty space of your frame to be closer to the 180-degree line. This means that your actor is placed in frame farther from the line. If you draw a circle around your action and then draw your line right through the middle of your actors, if you place your camera on the south side of the line while one actor is standing on the west and one actor standing in the east, both shots of your actors will have the empty space facing to the north. This means that your actor on the east would be positioned in the right side of frame so that the left side of frame is to the north, and your actor on the west would be positioned on the left side of frame so that the right side of frame is your empty space, which is facing north. If you shoot your wide shot where you see both actors, one on the right and one on the left, then when you cut into close-ups, the actor who was on the right in the wide shot will still be on the right of your close-up, and the actor on the left in the wide shot will still be on the left in the close-up. Here are some examples of the rule of thirds and how you can use it. The rule of thirds helps you to properly compose or frame your shot in a way that will draw attention to your points of interest and help lead your audience's eyes toward other points of interest. In still photography, you do have the added benefit of being able to line up your shot later on using some sort of overlay so that you can move, rotate, and crop your image so that it's just right. In this example, we have placed our horizon right in the middle vertically, but have used the rule of thirds to place the stone structure within the left third only. Here we have placed the sun right inside the right third with more space to the left, showing that the sun is casting light in that direction. In this example, we've framed our shot so that the intersection of those 2 boards are at the intersection of our lines. At the same time, our horizon is aligned with the bottom third. In this image, we've aligned the edge of the water with the edge of our bottom third. We've also kept the teal neon lights, both the word studio and its reflection, in the left third of our frame. Here we've placed the horizon and the mountains inside the bottom third, allowing more of the image to be used to see the stars. We've also kept the brighter parts of the structure on either side of the center third. In this shot, we've framed our model within the left third, giving us some interesting space to the right. Sometimes centering a subject can also make for an interesting shot. Here we've kept our subject completely within the center third. When it comes to moving pictures, not only does this rule help us to frame our subject, but it helps the audience to better understand what's going on. In this shot, our actor is framed within the right third, facing to the larger empty space to camera left. This tells us that she is clearly talking to someone off camera to our left. This shot also works as she is still framed on the right side and is speaking to someone who is likely standing right beside the camera. This shot, however, does not work. Since we can tell she is speaking to someone to our right, it makes us question why there is so much empty space on the left side of frame and the shot seems very unbalanced. The rule of thirds should be used to create a frame and a shot that is pleasing to the eyes, but at the same time should also be used to help the audience understand what is going on, the continuity of your scene, and where everyone is positioned. Now, of course, this is called the rule of thirds. It is a rule of cinematography, and it should definitely be adhered to because it not only helps with continuity and makes your shots look more interesting and helps things to flow properly, it also helps your audience to understand everything. But when you have a good and purposeful reason to stray from this rule in the name of creativity, go ahead and try things out and see what looks good and works best for your shot if you're trying something a little bit different or artsy or whatever the case may be. I hope that this has helped you to better understand the rule of thirds, what it is, how to use it, and how to apply it to your shots so that you can improve the cinematic quality of your films. This has been Filmmaking for Noobs. I'm Kyle Lawrence. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.